Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi to everyone. I am Abdul Hamid Mahesh sir. You are watching my YouTube channel that is Criminology with Abdul Hamid Mahesh sir. Today we are coming with the issue of gender issues, that is second part of that gender issues, that is we are going to discuss right now. So previously we discussed about it large about the consequences and the types of violence against gender. Now we are coming with part one of gender issues, that is consequences of violence against gender. So what are the effects on the violence against gender, that we will also discuss at large the what are the effects of the violence against the gender. So health effects of domestic and sexual abuse or violence. Health is badly hurt, affected by the consequences of violence, maybe physical, maybe biological. Different aspects are there. There's a different violence against gender we are discussing here that is affects their whole domestic life, the domestic works and sexual abuse or violence that affects their whole routine of the life. Social and economic cost, added cost, effect on productivity and empowerment. So these are the subtopics we will discuss later on and coming and further later on. So what is physical health consequences of violence against gender? So physical health, it's the concept of the violence through injuries, functional impairment, physical symptoms, poor subjective health, permanent disability of handicap, chronic conditions, irritable bowel syndrome, gastrointestinal disorder, somatic complaint, negative health behavior. So smoking, alcohol, drug abuse, overeating. These are the consequences we are discussing against violence against gender. Mental health, we are discussing the state of mental health of the consequence of violence against gender. Post traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety, phobia, sleep difficulties, eating disorder, low sleep esteem. These are still they are continuing consequences of violence against women, against gender. So reproductivity, unwanted pregnancy, gynecological disorder, unsafe abortion, pregnancy complication, pelvic inflammatory disorder, fatal outcome, homicide, suicide, maternal mortality, AIDS related death, female infanticide. So let's discuss each, and still there is a social economic cost. The social and economic cost of the violence against women are enormous. It's huge. The socio economic cost they are bearing. Women may suffer isolation, inability to work, loss of wages due to losses of women's earning potential, lack of participation in regular activities, and limited ability to care for themselves and their children. Decreases quality of life in family and community and lower self-esteem. So added cost includes cost of treatment of therapy, court and legal services. So now what are the causes? Earlier we discussed about the consequences. Now causations are causes of gender discrimination. The causes of gender discrimination may be as follows. Number one, prejudice, biological causes, sociocultural causes, economic causes, educational, personal, and psychological causes, adherence to the traditional gender roles that may be also main cause of gender discrimination in our country or out around the globe. So now, what is prejudice? Prejudice. Men are so much biased against qualities of women that a woman works excellently, men say she is a man. Sometimes when she works wonderful and marvelous like a iron man, like a man, they are doing physically strong. Sometimes we say that women are very strong, like a strong men. She works. Prejudice indicate unfounded and unscientific judgment. It is wrong to discriminate all women on the behavior of women. So it's a general preference whenever we found anything mishapped or we judged from one, taking from one or three that all women can be like that. No, we have to discuss, we have to see the all other things. We cannot discriminate on the less women they are working not effectively, not working with men to shoulder. So we cannot discriminate. All women cannot be a bad one, or all women cannot be a good one. So we have that is prejudice. Biological causes of gender discrimination. Biological differences between men and women play a minor role in creating gender discrimination. But women are considered as only birth giver. Today, women are taking part in athletics and sports like cricket, hockey, football, volleyball, which are very once considered the monopoly of males. But the percentage of women taking part in such games is quite small. It is hoped that if women are encouraged by family, society, and government, they can prove that they are also physically stronger like men. So only encouragement and social politically they have to uplift the all women they can do a excellent job like a man they are doing in extracurricular activities and education. So now socio-cultural causes people are no more interested in girl child and are engaged in the abortion of an unborn female fetus. Parents and in-laws feel sorry when a girl is born because they considered a female child in our society is not wanted because she is considered by her parents as a flower of someone else god. So parents don't bother to pay for education and her basic needs, thinking her existence is their loss because they have to give away a dowry. That is also our socio-culture dogmas that most of the people feel infuriated when they were means continuous birth of the baby girl. Economic cause around the globe in almost all societies, women were or are economically dependent on men. Since they had no education and expertise to do jobs outside, and since men did not allow those who were suitable for jobs, women were financially weak. They were only engaged in domestic work for which they were never paid. One psychologist called women unpaid maid servants. That is also economic cause. Most of the time, the women are dependent on men solely their livelihood and everything they are doing. Educational causes. Empowerment of women is possible through education in the first place. So that is also missing in our society. We are not giving their basic and fundamental right of education. That is also give empowerment and power to the women to decide or take to lead in everything. In order to make women self-sufficient and reduce gender discrimination, women should be educated. Empowerment of women means improvement in their political status, financial position, occupational status, and legal awareness, extra, which can be achieved through education. So, education is the only leading source for women where they can have a par excellence in every field. Experience And observation shows that in general, the state of women today is very low. They are discriminated because of want of lack of education. Education is considered to be the most significant agent of basic change in the status of women, including economic and occupational status. So how to prevent gender-based violence and gender discrimination? It is the question of $1 million that how we can be a better on part of that one. So all individual men, women, boys and girls are accountable for practicing zero tolerance for all form of gender-based violence in home or in society or in community. So within household, ensuring that women and girls have equal access to information, education, and participation in decision making. So we are taking some measures where we can reduce the gender-based violence and reduce the discrimination. So these are the steps or measures, maybe more, can be taken very be effective one. So these are the somehow we can social, economic, and legal right to children and women. A right to participate should be ensured in all issues in concerning them. Shelter, counseling, service and legal aid are required in communities for women. Legal law enforcement systems, including police and security and armed forces, must come to such a women aid. Since of the main cause of violence is illiteracy, primary education should be meaningful and productive. Awareness should be increased in legal and human rights of children and women. These are the measures where we can prevent gender-based violence. Education, rights, that is the main integral part of process of progress and development of the gender. So caste and gender discrimination should be ended and equal pay for equal amount of work should be applied. Minimum age of marriage should be set at least 20 above the 18 years and implementation and enforcement should be approached in a more sustained manner and directed toward the market demand. Poverty and lack of employment opportunities are the major contributing factors of the violence. Thus, economic and employ of opportunities, income generating activities should be provided to the all women according to their capacity. Only heavy fines and previous legal punishment to the perpetrators and the exploiters is not sufficient to prevent the violence, so legal punishment should be strong to them. So these are the slides where we are talking about the gender violence, and we also have measures where we can reduce the gender-based violence from our society. So hope you have enjoyed today's lecture, and please give your feedback regarding coming lectures. So thank you very much for watching my channel. Thank you.